Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I'm thrilled that you're here. So, today I want to talk to you about some questions you can ask yourself when you have a manifestation that you feel like has failed. So, I'm coming from this topic from a place of I've just had a manifestation that I was working on for several months not come to fruition in the way that I thought it would. First, I want to say that, I could choose in this moment, and you could choose too if you're in this situation, to revise it and focus on that method of getting what I want, right? So I could start revising immediately, not taking no for an answer in my imagination. Remember, we do all of these steps in our imagination. Or in my case, I'm actually just going I'm going to ask myself some questions. I'm going to do it right here on the podcast with you. And I'm going to see if I can figure out why my manifestation did not work out the way I wanted it to. So I was manifesting something. I'm not going to get real specific into what it was, but I was manifesting something and have been focusing on it for about 8 or 9 months. And really, I had been focusing on it like it was kind of a long-term goal situation that I was in, in the 3D reality. It was a goal that I've been working on for a long time. At some point in my life, I wanted to reach this goal, and this opportunity presented itself about 9 months ago, and I was really excited about it. And I started working on manifesting it. And early on in the manifestation process of trying to reach this goal and manifest an outcome that I wanted, I got some information in the 3D reality, in the circumstances that don't matter in manifesting wise, that it wasn't going the way I thought it was going to go. And it created within me a lot of resistance. So mine was not with my specific person or anything like that, but I'm going to use a specific person example here. So let's say you are manifesting a specific person and you hear that she or he is dating someone else. And when you hear that, that really sort of rattles your confidence that your manifestation is going the way that you want it to. So just because somebody's dating someone else doesn't mean that you can't end up with the person that you want to end up with, right? Like, people break up all the time. People stop dating someone, and then you can end up with the person that you want to end up with. In this case, I heard this information. Like I said, mine wasn't with a specific person or romantic relationship, but I heard some information that it sounded like it wasn't going to go the way I wanted it to. And it created a lot of resistance within me. And so over the last 8 months or so, I've been battling this information in my imagination, where I was trying to do my focusing work, right? So we know that our focus is what manifests, and you can use techniques or you can make a decision however you do it. You can use scripting. I used visualization. I used inner conversations for this particular manifestation. But the thing that I also did was I used all of those things in a way that undermined what I was manifesting. So I had some visuals. I was having inner conversations with a decision maker in my case, but I also was having inner conversations with, let's say, that somebody I was in competition with for in the 3D reality of this manifestation. Now, in manifestation, there is no competition, right? Like, you choose the outcome. It's you, and you're in charge of your reality. But I kept having an inner conversation with one of my people that was wanting the same outcome as me, only for themselves. And I kept hearing myself tell this person, congratulations. And that part of that I did manifest. I manifested that. And I even had an appointment with a manifestation coach, not myself. Because I know how to manifest, obviously. I have this podcast and I've been manifesting a long time, but sometimes I just like to get an outside perspective. And so I got a coach and I spoke with her and we talked about this. And she gave me some tips about changing that conversation, because I knew when I was doing this inner conversation that it was just kind of Like it wasn't what I was purposefully choosing, right? When we manifest, we're choosing our affirmations, we're choosing our thoughts on purpose to get the outcome we wanted. In this case, I just had this strong sort of intuition and feeling that kept my mind returning to an outcome that I didn't want. And my focus ended up being more on this outcome that I didn't want than the outcome I did want. And it turns out that the outcome that happened was this outcome I didn't want. Now, like I said at the very beginning of this podcast, I can revise that and change that going forward. And I would assume that it would have something would happen in the 3D reality to change the outcome to the outcome I wanted. Now, I'm not going to do that right now because in this sort of period of time after this, what I'm calling a failed manifestation, and I don't think we have to be afraid of the word failed or failure. We learn from that. I'm learning from this in my own manifesting life and my own manifesting sort of techniques and what I use. And right now, I don't think I want to revise it. Like I'm really trusting that this outcome was the right outcome. And that like now it gives me an opportunity to choose something that I really want. Like I want more than I wanted this other outcome. So that's how I'm going to go forward in my situation. But you don't have to do that. I want to be very clear. If you feel hurt and however you feel about something that you feel like is a failed manifestation, you don't have to give up. And you shouldn't give up if you still really want that outcome that you feel like has failed. But do take a moment to take care of yourself and to really sort of acknowledge and look at honestly look at what you were thinking, what inner conversations you were doing, what scripting you were doing that may have contributed to the outcome that you got. And don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid. So I'm here. I have a manifesting podcast. I've manifested lots and lots of things, but I'm not afraid to come on here and tell you that I've failed in this one particular manifestation that I worked on for months, for 8 or 9 months. And it doesn't have to be a scary thing. And like I've said, 2 or 3 times now, I can choose to revise this and still get that outcome in the future if I want to. And you can too. So I want to leave you with just to wrap up this podcast today with, if you have something that you feel like has failed, I gave the specific person example earlier. If there is a certain amount of money that you want, or you're, manifesting a lottery win and your ticket didn't win, whatever it is, you don't have to give up. So please don't hear that. But also be really honest with yourself about, is there something I can improve? Is there something I can change about my manifesting? Like in my case, I know that I was more focused on the outcome that I didn't want than the outcome I wanted. And I think because I had a lot of fear about that, that's why I did that. But I can learn from that. And each moment, even in this now moment that I'm talking to you, is a new moment where you can start your manifesting again. So I don't want you to feel discouraged. I want you to feel hopeful and optimistic that you are going to get exactly what you want. And maybe that can change sometimes, but it doesn't have to if you don't want it to. So thank you so much for listening. I am thrilled to talk to you anytime about manifesting, and I will talk to you in a different episode. Bye.